All right, you are now tuned in to the Rotated Views podcast. I am your host, Jimmylee Velez. I'm here with Goose, Heck, and Gabe. All right, so this episode is titled, I Need a Vacation. If you're new to the podcast, we have to thank you and want to tell you that a new episode is released every Tuesday morning. So don't forget to download and subscribe. Once again, the titles of our podcast, we stick very, close to, our content sticks very close to the title. So you can thumb through all of our titles. We have 22 episodes uploaded. Pick whatever you want, or you can start in order. Leave us some feedback. Leave us a review. Let us know if there's any topics you want for us to discuss. We can definitely do that. So let's jump right in. I need a vacation. In this episode, we discuss our vacation experiences as kids and adults, escaping the hustle and bustle, and our favorite vacations with our children. We wrap up the episode with quotes from Earl Wilson and Will Wright. All right, so before we kick things off, I like to define a word or two words from dictionary.com. This time it's just the word vacation, and they define it as a period of suspension of work, study, or other activity usually used for rest, recreation, or travel. Recess or holiday. So, with that being said, I know that a lot of people know the definition of what a vacation is, but I'm not so quite sure who actually takes a vacation. And we'll get more into that after the story. So, this story is from Smart Destinations titled Ben and the Unlikely Beasts. And this is, something on vacations. So, one summer, I went on a youth group trip to Israel. A bunch of us who had never met before were traveling on a big bus together. One day in northern Israel, the bus stopped at a beach to take a break. Just as we got down to the water, a big wave came in and brought with it oodles of jellyfish. One big bluish-purple jelly slapped a boy right across the chest as the wave crashed into him. Almost everyone got stung. As it turned out, the jellyfish weren't poisonous, but their stings burned and itched unbelievably. For the next few days, everyone had to urinate on each other to soothe the wounds. Talk about a bonding experience. So, talk about a vacation. Well, first of all, it starts out with a bunch of us who have never met before. We're traveling on a big bus together. So
that's one way to get acquainted.
Yeah.
Well, at least at the end of the trip, they can just kind of go on their ways and never.
But can you imagine having to urinate on basically strangers just to...
That is weird.
So weird.
Oh, man, that is so weird.
Or get urinated on. That's
weird. Go get urinated on, I think is more weird.
That's disgusting. Golden showers.
Yeah. But the thing is it's funny because it's like, I think I'd get stage fright. I'm like, dude, you're really going to... I'm going to urinate on
performance issues.
Yeah, it's just...
Turn the water on.
Yeah. Oh, someone make splashing noises. Make splashy noises.
Splashing.
But I wanted to be a little lighthearted, obviously, with the story because I know that there's a lot of people out there with funny stories of vacations, and I don't know if anyone here has any. But going back to what I originally said, that I understand that people know the definition, for the most part, know the definition of what a vacation is. Mm-hmm. But how many people actually take vacations? And I don't mean days off. I mean a vacation. And I don't mean a destination. I mean a vacation, right? So if you go back to what it actually says, it says a period of suspension of work, study, or other activity, usually used to rest, recreation, or travel. Now, the reason why I'm, being a little bit of, obnoxious with this is because how many people do we know are on vacation, but they're still answering emails? They're still taking phone calls. Yep. They're, still writing book reports or reading, information that has to deal with work, not recreational reading. But it's true. And that's not a true vacation. That's what I mean. You don't have to go to a destination for it to be a quote unquote vacation.
Yeah.
I mean, totally unplugging yourself. I mean, even our cell phones. I know, the famous discussion, in the last like 4 or 5 years is, look at a dinner table today versus the dinner table back in the 80s and 90s, where nowadays everyone's just sitting on a cell phone, but they're having family time. It's family game night and everyone's just playing games. Literally, they're playing like, Words with Friends all in a circle, and that's family game night, right? But that with that is not unplugging yourself. I know even like we just came from a vacation, and my mom and my mother-in-law were talking about them unplugging from their phones, and this was like an actual discussion that they're having. And I just had, I guess, tuned into like the last bit of it, and they're laughing at all the late responses that they were giving people when it came to text messages. And people were kind of get frustrated with them, like, why are you not answering me, blah blah blah, I need to know. And it's funny how important things are to people, or what's important to people nowadays when it comes to response times and things like that. We didn't have cell phones back in the 90s and 80s. Well, we didn't. I'm sure someone did. Yeah. Well, in the 90s anyway. But
that was an anomaly.
They weren't as popular.
Right.
Or easy to come across.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, it was a hassle to have one. You had like a backpack or some weird contraption in your car.
You had to get minutes.
Yeah.
Like you literally had to re-up your phone every time.
I remember going to... my goodness, you remember phone cards?
Yeah.
I remember going on like school trips in high school and buying like $25 phone cards so I can call my parents.
I remember I had like... My mom got something through like the phone company that
Bell Atlantic.
I guess
caller ID.
No, yeah, exactly. No, it was like a phone card, but it was attached to our home line. So if you had to, for emergency, if you had to make a phone call, like you call like a calling card type thing, and it was still like it would just charge it to your house.
Charge to the house.
The area codes were put in too.
Wow. Yeah, when we were
long
kids,
distance,
I mean, my childhood telephone number, we never put 215. Like you just put the 7 numbers, which I still basically know like all my friends and families from like being young, which is weird because you don't have to. I barely know like my own nowadays. Like you don't have everything's stored in the phone.
Yeah,
it's kind of scary. The only ones I know is like my wife's and like my house phone, because all these forms that you fill out for insurance purposes and other stuff. Exactly. You have those are like next of kin. Those are numbers. So boom. Yeah,
those numbers you need to know as opposed to like everybody else is like I don't know any of your numbers.
Everyone else I couldn't even tell you. Especially what's weird with the phones now. I mean, Heck has had 4 different phone numbers in like the past like 2 years, and they're for some reason I try to delete them, but they still pop up on my phone, and they're deleted, but they pop up. Dude, so I actually remember going on vacation with my buddy Evan, went to Ocean City, New Jersey, and using like the phone card to call my mom, say I got there, and talk about being unplugged. And people always talk about there's such like a freedom. To back then we didn't know any better, like that was life, right? Now it's like when you get unplugged you realize how how connected we really are to one another with social media and cell phones. It's just sending a text like here, and that's it. There's no talking, there's no nothing, and you can go about and doing your thing. But going back to even using this funny story as an example, or, just as a reminder to taking a vacation in one's life through this, the hustle and bustle. My question to you guys is, how do you know it's time to take a vacation?
Sometimes your body asks for it.
Right?
To relax. And
right.
Like, you just need that time out. You work countless hours a day. You definitely, for months, now you definitely need like that time.
So you're saying like your body naturally tells you.
Yeah, like I can keep going, but once I can on a routine, I just get like drained.
Right.
Physically.
Right.
Yeah, someone's doing the same, like the repeating the same stuff every day. Like if you have like a monotonous job, whatever it is, like you need time to just unwind and do something different, even if it is like not going away or anything. It's just like to stay home and chill or do something.
Right. Heck.
His life is a vacation.
No, going to work is vacation. That's what I was going to say. I don't know. Going to work, I mean, I don't know. I don't know when. I honestly don't feel the need for vacation. Not that I don't need vacation. I love going on vacation, but like I don't require vacation because I'm like always my job entails differently every day, and I'm always taking off like at least one day a week for something for the kids to do something. So it's kind of like, I guess my stress level doesn't get stressed out like that. I need that vacation. I guess fortunate for my job.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, for me, I kind of agree with what Goose said and kind of what Gabe said too. Is there's obviously your body telling you something, or when you're overly stressed out and it's been a while and you really like look back and like, dude, if every day you wake up and you're that uptight, you're doing something wrong, or if you're not doing something, you just need to back up. Just even if your life is that hard, you just need to back up a little bit, even if it's just a day, just to like take it all in, because what you're doing is unhealthy. You're going to end up driving yourself into the ground and literally being burnt out. And I've been burnt out. That's the only reason why I can explain or talk about being burnt out. I literally took the word, like hustle, to the wheels fall off, to literally the wheels fell off. It sounds good and it sounds tough and it sounds like everything you ever want to do. And it's great because hard work done the right way pays off. I don't believe in just that hard work pays. Hard work done effectively pays off. Because you can continue to, hit the hammer, on whatever it is, the wrong object. Let's just say it's cement or something and you're getting nowhere, and you can continue to hit that and you're going to continue to go nowhere. Yeah. That's not to say you didn't work hard. It's just not effective.
Yeah. And which is, it goes back to like it just reminded me of like the phrase was heard, like the slow down the speed up type thing. So sometimes you need like that resting period just to kind of actually get your mind together. And if you are going hard, like a certain task, like to get back into it and like focus a little more better after the fact. Comes like you do it so much that you kind of lose focus, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Or it becomes just the meaning of stuff. It loses total meaning, and it just becomes, life is just this numb routine that you're just doing. I know there's a famous story, and this is not my own story. Someone, I don't know if this is like a wives' tale or something made up, but the story goes that there's this huge, basically like Jack and a Greenstock and a Beanstalk, Jack and a Beanstalk, Jack and a Beanstalk type monstrous guy versus like this little guy, right? And they're in a competition to chop a tree down. And actually, I'm not even sure this. I don't know if this is a Disney story or this is something.
Tiny Tim?
I guess.
Tiny
I don't even know.
That's the Christmas Carol.
He had a wooden crutch.
Poor the ghost of Christmas past.
What in the world?
Wow. All right. So anyway, who cares who it is? It's really, so there's this much, just think about like David and Goliath. Like physically, these guys it was unmatched, right? So the big guy was going to kick this dude's butt when it came to doing something physical. Yeah. So were going to cut down, who can cut down this tree, which was the same size, the fastest. So they started and they started going at it. And the giant just kept whacking away at it, whacking, boom, boom, boom. And he's getting there faster than the little guy because he's just crushing it using like brute strength. Well, the little guy stops, takes a break, and sharpens his axe in the middle and then starts going after it. Now they're about tied. And the big guy's just going away. Everyone's laughing at him. The little guy's taking his time, blah, blah, blah. Then he takes another break, sharpens it again, and now he's like a little bit further than the big guy. Well, the big guy's getting mad, and he's hitting this thing even harder. Just, I'm knocking this tree down, you're going down, blah, blah, blah. Finally, little guy stops, takes another break, sharpens up his axe again, and boom, the tree falls down once he hits it one time and beats the big guy. And the moral of the story is what we were saying, slowing down to speed up. You have to stop and sharpen your axe to be more effective. The giant is doing hard work that didn't pay. Yeah. The little guy is doing hard work effectively, which is called working smart, and he won.
Yeah, the giant was doing harder work though, because it's almost like he was trying to chop the tree with a block at that point, because the edge of the axe didn't have no sharp to it. No point.
Yeah, and sometimes even worse than the giant though, some people were using the wrong tools.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true.
That happens a lot.
That's even worse. Huh. So that's why I'm saying being an effective worker, a hard effective worker. But when you need that break so you can sharpen your axe, so you can refocus, understand, and regain energy and realize why you're doing something. So I believe everyone needs a vacation. You can only go so long before you burn out. And I did it at Temple University, which I didn't understand. That's what I was doing. I honestly didn't understand that. But I basically beat myself into the ground. I just overstudied, overthought everything, was just anxious, super stressed out. And it was just like, I realized that I never stopped to sharpen my axe.
I guess sometimes when you're in that mentality, you just feel like that's what you have to do to keep going.
It was overwhelming. So it was like a constant guilt trip. So you would be like, okay, so I'm going to take a couple out, I'm going to relax tonight, blah, blah, blah. And us relaxing was really like going to the gym, shooting hoops or whatever. Like we'll go to the pavilion. I don't even know if that's still there now, but yeah. So then we would go, let's go grab dinner first, or grab something quick to eat and then walk over. So while we're walking by, we see people in class. We see people walking to the library, backpacks, blah, blah, blah. Although I did study last night, this is making me feel like crap. Yeah. So I'm like, maybe I should be studying. I'm definitely going to screw this up now. So then we're playing basketball and I'm cutting it short, or I'm not just performing good playing basketball. Now I'm thinking about my schoolwork again. So it was just this. I never understood how to unplug. Eventually I did, but it was just a rough patch for my sophomore and junior year, which is I didn't understand. Even when I go to vacation, my mom tells me you don't know how to relax. Yeah. Ironically, I'm always telling people to relax. Relax. But I guess a lot of times people are my indicators. Some people will just walk up to me. Sometimes I really don't even realize that I'm running myself into the ground. People are like, you look stressed out, dude. Or is everything all right? People ask.
That's the worst.
That's a blatant, a sign.
Someone sees your eyes, you got bags underneath them.
Yeah, because you don't know when to stop. Not that you don't know when. You're just trying to make things happen so bad that you're not thinking about that stuff. You almost don't care because here's the thing in the back of my mind. I know it's going to be temporary. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm not going to kill myself over it, but we're definitely going to push the envelope.
You're trying to get the task out of the way, so you just kind of you go on autopilot.
Yeah, and I've said this before. How do you know what you're actually capable of if you never push the envelope?
Yeah,
it's true.
How do you know you're actually extracting what your true potential is in life if you're not pushing the envelope? So, okay, yeah, I got bags under my eyes. I look like crap. I'm turning green. Okay, that's probably where I should stop.
Yeah, but you're trying to do something. You're trying to complete something. So,
but there's a reason behind it. It's not like you were
a workaholic or something like that.
Yeah, or I mean, just I don't know where I'm
You're
going.
up all night watching TV.
Yeah, exactly. Like that, like just binging on TV or playing video games or just you know what I mean, like.
All right, so to date, what was one of your favorite vacations as an adult?
My favorite vacation was last year when we went to Disney. Only because we had all the girls. We had 3 girls. No. Yeah, we had 3 girls. And Lainey was at that age. It's my second oldest. She was at the age where she watched Disney and she would watch all the princesses and all that stuff. And we were excited just to go off to Disney. I mean, we've been to Disney several times. But she's never been there. It was her first time. And then, so we're walking into the Magic Kingdom. And she didn't see the castle yet. So I put her on my shoulder so I could walk down, like the middle, before, walking towards to the castle. And when I put her on my shoulders and I came around the circle, the big circle thing, her face was completely priceless. Yeah. It was in total shock. It was oh my God, I'm here. And it was the best feeling to know that your child actually appreciate that moment. They actually I don't know, they were just glowing because they've seen something that they've seen on TV or it's something that they've always wanted to do or whatever. And just by doing that, it made the experience that much better being on vacation with them because just showing them what the Magic Kingdom was about and stuff like that. So I have to say that was probably my best vacation with my kids.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Mine was similar too. Same thing. It was the very first time Ava went to Disney. Just seeing her face, she's dressed up as a princess. And everywhere you go, they acknowledge her as, there's a princess on board. Princess, yeah. Princess, cool. Beware with the princess. Some lines, they let her go up front. And just to, feel like she was, to know that she felt special. And, that was, just seeing her little face, dude, it's priceless. Yeah. It's crazy. That's awesome. It's priceless.
Yeah, we've gone to, like the shore and stuff with James. We haven't really got on an actual vacation. He's only 2.
Yeah.
But we haven't gotten, because I felt like, well, we talked about it and said we need to wait a couple of years, otherwise he won't, to take him to Disney thing. We didn't feel like for him he would like kind of fully understand what's actually, you know, the magnitude of what's going on. So I know the couple times we took him even just to the shore was one, and Sesame Place. I know that's not really like a quote unquote vacation. It's more like a, you know, like a water park or something. But just I'm just trying to like relate to what you were saying.
Yeah.
First time he saw
faces.
Elmo get on stage, he was just like, and just seeing that face is just priceless.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a whole nother thing. And then the original one was for me was when we went to Puerto Rico as a family. This was back in 2004.
Yeah.
This was awesome. So I never forget getting a phone call freshman at Temple University in the dorm rooms. My mom calls me. She's like, "Can I ask you a question?" I'm like, "Oh man, I thought it was something totally different."
Yeah.
We're gonna go on vacation, and I don't know when your break is or starts because we want to plan it. And this was like in January of I just got back into school, or it might have been right before we left in December. I know it was like winter. And I'm like, yeah, where are you going? She's like, well, we're going to go to Puerto Rico and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, I'm going, you know.
Yeah.
And which gave me a goal, too, because I had this, like, little tiny part-time job. So that everything I, like, whatever saved up was for that. But it was different because we were all adults, right? And for the first time, literally, I just had turned 18 when she asked me. By the time we went, I don't even think I was 19 yet.
No.
I think we literally went like in the beginning of June. I'm not even sure.
Yeah.
I feel like it was early in the summer, but maybe not.
No, we went in I think it was in June when we went to.
It had to be because I was just 18 and we figured out the guys like, you guys want something to drink? And you guys all ordered beer, and I'm like, he's like, how old are you? I'm like 18. He's like, yeah, you can drink here.
Yeah.
And my mind was blown. I'm like, oh snap. Holy smokes.
No.
And,
my mommy got all like, she looked at you like,
really?
You're giving him a beer? Why is he getting a beer? She didn't realize that 18 was like the legal drinking age for him.
Yeah, it was legal. It was
Ruined her
normal. It was like, I'm
vacation.
like, oh.
The baby's drinking beer now.
So this is different.
Yeah.
So this was actually the first time for me, why it sticks with me. It was like, I just turned a quote unquote adult. It was the first time I hung out with my brothers and my dad and had an adult beverage. So, I mean, it wasn't nothing crazy, but it was just that feeling, boom. Yeah. And then we went, our hotel was like beachside. So faced the beach. It was on the beach and had like a little bar connected to it. So while this whole time, I remember traveling there thinking like, I think Mike and Heck are going to go do their own thing. I was trying to figure out what I was going to do at night. Cause I'm like, I'm old enough. Like I don't want to just like go to bed early every night or go to the pool by myself. Yeah. And here there's like this, you know, adult place connected to our hotel. So we hung out every night, you know.
Bar,
yeah, so we smoked stoves and stuff, and it was like listening to the ocean come in. It was just amazing. And then obviously we're in our motherland, you know, and so it was like the culture we're taking in. It was a mixture of a bunch of stuff. It wasn't our first time there or anything, but it was the first time. I think all of us there as an adult.
As adults, yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, we were there several times as kids. But for me, that was something that always sticks out, just because it was so many first times. It was like doing.
Even the stuff we did when we were out there, though, like walking through the rainforest.
Exactly.
Walking through the caves and all that stuff. Like, just that stuff was awesome.
Yeah, cooling off on
you
the
see it on
waterfalls
TV. You see, like, you're walking, you see, like, these tropical birds and stuff flying around on TV. And, like, you're actually walking through this rainforest. And you see these parrots flying right above you with the beautiful colors. And it's like, dude, this is real. Like, it's cool. Like, it's so surreal.
Oh my gosh, the parrots. Oh, yeah, the exotic birds. It's like seeing a pigeon here, which is very strange because you're like, look how colorful that thing is. Or, you know, like the lizards and stuff like that. It's just, it's pretty cool. What about, you had any?
I was thinking, I might be conflating the age, whatever, but it was something similar. Like, it was like in between, like, I think high school and, college. It was like me and my sister and a bunch of like family friends. We went to, and there was like all different ages. It was like, I guess my sister's still like 2.5 years older than me. So it was like me, I might have been the youngest up until like, it was like maybe late 20s, whatever. It was maybe a good 10 of us that went to the Bahamas.
Oh, damn, that's awesome.
So it was like, that was the only time I've ever been to like there was opportunity years ago to go to Puerto Rico when my grandparents lived there, but I think I was too young and something didn't work out with school or something, so I never got that opportunity. Which, but so that was like the only time I've been to like Ireland, and like it was almost something similar, like you said, like the first time you can, they're the legal drinking age, whatever.
Yeah,
it's like 18 or something similar too.
Yeah,
where it was like, we went to like in the area. It wasn't like a resort, but it was a nice hotel where they had stuff around there. But within walking distance, there was like little dance areas, and like there was a bunch of different shops and all stuff. So you can like every night there was something you can go out and do and chill, and like everybody was like a cool experience, which I never had. And actually one night, like one of the last nights, it was like me and 3 or 4 of the other ones. Like we had a beach within walking distance too, and we were gonna just like go there and like stay up all night just to go watch the sunrise come up on the beach. And it was like that was like a almost like a painting come to life, like that type of thing. Especially like on the island, like watching that come out, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, when you have like the first times. Oh, the other thing was the casino. We walked into the casino. It was also the first time I was ever allowed into a casino. I remember that experience just stuck with me so much because everything was so different. Up until that point, me and my brothers never hung out. Like we weren't even didn't have a close relationship at all. I was just like the little brother. It wasn't a good relationship. It just wasn't close. They had, they're at a different age. Then finally, once you get in your 20s, it's all kind of like mushes together. But yeah, that was the other thing. Yeah, I mean, that's the other good one for me was, which is a very fun memory also, was me and my wife's honeymoon. We went to St. Lucia. And the one thing that always pops out in my head is we went horseback riding, like in the water, like literally what you see in magazines and like super like cheesy when you're thinking about it. But doing it was so much fun. Yeah. But the problem was, so my wife gets this like Clydesdale, right? And then I get this donkey. So my wife is like 5'2", I'm 6'3". So you would think it was opposite. Well, the reason why they gave me this basic donkey looking thing was apparently he was the wildest one. And when there's a heavier person on him, apparently he feels the pressure and he's less likely to.
Okay.
Well, I never rode a horse by myself. I've been on horses, but that's like with someone, leading the way or whatever, like at a farm or something. So they'd give us the basic things. This is the brakes, pull back, this is whatever, kick, basically his side of his, his ribs or whatever to make him go faster or go forward or whatever. I don't remember at this point. It was like 2012. Yeah. So, so I get on there. So they take us up this like whatever path. It was okay in the beginning because we're like, the scenery wasn't the best. Yeah. But then finally, boom, it breaks out open and we're like kind of in this like jungle-ish forest looking kind of like area. There's all this green. It was beautiful. You hear birds chirping. It was awesome. And then, boom, it opens up. All you see is like this aqua water. And just like islanders, there's like one guy's making like some, some beverage on the side, like made out of like fruit punch, some punch or whatever. And on the other side, this guy has music playing. And that's it. It's this whole like beach, beach line just empty. And this other couple was like on the horses. So my wife was laughing because literally I was basically on this like small horse and my legs were basically dragging like as we were walking. And so we're in the water and my legs were basically weighing this whole thing down. Oh so there's pictures. Absolutely hilarious. My wife looks like she's having like the time of her life and I'm just like, I feel like I'm breaking this thing's back.
That's great.
But yeah, St. Lucia, that was awesome. That was real.
I would have to say my second best vacation was going on a cruise with my buddies, Wilbur and Gilbert. That was like the most amazing thing ever. Hopping on that ship and then going from island to island for the next couple of days. Yeah, so much fun. It was just like on each island was like something memorable that you did. Yeah, like and it just like sticks out. Like I recommend everyone go on a cruise if you can afford it or make it happen. Dude, it's such an experience. The excursions alone, they get a little expensive, but just the stuff is like stuff you don't think of that you'll be doing. And then when you go on this ship or on this cruise, it's like these are the excursions that you want to go on for this island. Yeah. So the one we went to our last trip was to the Bahamas, our last island that we went to, and I told Will, I was like, dude, I want to go parasailing. He's like, well, what's that? I was like, well, when they strap the parachute on you and the boat takes you along, drags you along, you fly up in the air, whatever. He's like, oh yeah, I want to do that. I want to do that. So he was like paranoid about it, like scared. I'm like, dude, just put the harness on and strap it up, and you're good. Well, now he ended up coming on with me, so I got this grown ass dude on between my legs, going on a parasail, and I was like, we look so sweet right now, and he's cracking up laughing. I might think he did it on purpose, knowing him, but it was the most amazing thing. So then what they do is they wheel you in once like at this one point, and they like let you stick your feet in the water or whatever. So Will didn't realize what the guy was doing. So he's like, dude, we're going down. I was like, I think he's just dunking us because I saw they did it earlier or whatever. And he like dunked our feet in and then let the rope go and pulled us back or whatever up in the air or whatever. But it was one of the most like amazing feelings, just sitting up in the air and you see like half of the island. Just like you're right above it. You see everything going on around you. You see your ship because your ship stays out at sea, and there's like this little raft that comes and picks you up and takes you to the island because the ship can't get to the island to the Bahamas.
Yeah.
So it was actually like an awesome experience.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, going on there is like going on the cruise is awesome. We went to St. Thomas and we rented wave runners.
Yeah.
But okay, so we live by the Delaware, so I've been on wave runners, jet skis, whatever, on out in Delaware, and the water's not the clearest water out here. So going out there and just going on wave runner and looking, and you just stop and you can see the bottom of the sea in the middle of this place. It's so amazing. Like you just see this fish just swimming right by you like nothing. Snorkeling. I did snorkeling. Stuff that I never thought that I would do. It just like brings up it's awesome. Like just have everything ready for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean I'd recommend doing a cruise with adults just so that you know you're gonna have fun.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, going back to my story about the honeymoon or whatever, and the resort that we stayed at was obviously geared towards like it was geared towards couples. So everyone there it's like a bunch of lovebirds basically. So
Honeymooners.
It's kind of funny, and we did the other cliche thing instead of like me pretending I was Fabio, but I was really just breaking this horse's back, horseback riding in the ocean, because we went pretty deep. We went up to like. It covered.
He drowned the donkey.
No, we went up to like its neck, so it was like it was basically submerged, but its head.
Swimming.
Yeah,
that's a seahorse.
Close. Yeah. It was pretty close, and no, but the other thing that we did was we ate dinner on the beach. Yeah. And so you had like these like torches and my pant legs are rolled up. You were eating dinner barefoot. I'm like, dude, are we really doing this right now? And at first it's kind of cheesy, but then you see why people do it. It's really an experience. Like you're getting served. You have like this huge cold bottle of champagne sitting, the drinks of whatever you want, whatever you wanted on the menu. It was like this whole like, package thing that we got. Then you just hear the water clashing while you're just talking. There's music faintly playing like in the background. They leave you alone. Like they don't like constantly. Oh, is your coffee good? Is your it's kind of they just let you go do your thing. To us that was amazing. And then we just sat there and we had like an allotted time because you think, oh, dinner takes like 45 minutes to an hour really to eat, but I think they give you like 2 hours. So we were there for like 2 hours. So obviously we were done like in an hour and a half. So then we just sat down. They kind of like, I think they like took the table away, or we had the table there. We kind of moved to the side, and the ocean's coming in. I sparked up a Rocky Patel that I saved from my wedding. And we just had like this like, we just had vintage 1990 Rocky Patel. And we just had like a normal conversation. Like just, two little lovebirds. It was cool. Nice, and the cool part about that was it wasn't like our last night. So it wasn't like, messing us up mentally. Like, oh, man, we got to go home tomorrow. And that's all we're talking about. It was like in the middle of our, stay. Yeah. But I know both of those things sound super cheesy. But if you get the chance to do them, like same thing with Heck saying about the excursions, I would do them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what was... So now let's switch gears a little bit here. What was one of your fondest childhood vacation memories? As a child, what do you think of right away?
I would say going to Florida. I was like, that's like every kid's big thing. And then going to Disney. And I know the first year we went, Mom and Pop tried to...
Make him a princess.
Hey, a princess. Mom and Papa, they tried to set us up so that we can go to the Magic Kingdom and stuff like that. And I don't know. I remember that clear as day. That I remember we hopped on like a ferry to get to the Magic Kingdom and stuff like that. I thought that was one of my cool memories of taking a vacation with the family as a child. I was maybe 12 years old, maybe.
Yeah, mine's definitely the same. Florida, it was everything about it. Like we would do the classic drive.
Yeah, forever.
Somewhere between 18 to 23 hours it would take us, depending on, whatever. And we would stop at south of the border. Like, we did, like, the whole, like, thing. Like, we're such tourists. It was funny. Then we would stop, like, at random gas stations and get, like, Twinkies and use a bathroom. And then my dad will fill up and we'd run back in, all sugared up for nothing, because now we're stuck back in the car. Like, all wired, playing Game Boys. And it was just, like, classic. Like,
we'll rent the minivan. Papa will go pick up a minivan to rent.
That's right. Rent the minivan. It was like nice. We had pillows everywhere. We would like fight over who was sitting where. And we would just do awesome. Like, we would stop at diners or fast food restaurants. It was like, it was classic. Like the road trip was straight. For us, it was classic for us anyway.
Yeah, definitely awesome.
And
reading maps, not even no GPS. My dad was reading a map
with
or my
highlighter.
Yeah, my mom would tell him, "No, you got to go up this road here." And dude, it's classic.
Yeah,
right there.
The map, a straight up map. This thing
Paper
was huge.
covered up the windshield.
So
Pop
like
couldn't see.
5 feet by like 6 feet. This thing was huge. My goodness. Yeah, and then obviously when we get there, we do like all the fun, stuff that you got to do. And to me, it was just the little things, because we actually were, visiting our grandparents and going to was it Old Town? Remember we went to Old Town? I don't know if that's Orlando or not.
Or Kissimmee. Yeah, I'm not sure.
But just doing those things and knowing that it was a family vacation, we did stuff for everyone, which made it a family vacation. So my dad wanted to. It was his idea to stop at the south of the border. Wanted to check this out. My mom's like, okay, yeah. We're in Florida to see her parents, so that was what she was excited about. Yeah. Then we went to Old Town because that was something my dad wanted to check out, because they had like all old-fashioned cars. It was cool little shops. I think the place is still there. And then obviously we did like Disney and all that stuff for the kids. Mm-hmm. So all of us got something out of it. And I feel like I appreciated that more than.
We stayed at our aunt's and uncle's house too.
And where we stayed, family. So
more family,
we would either visit my grandparents, and then the next year we would go to my dad's sister's house and visit them. It was just a combination. Florida was a combination. We never flew out. Even going back, I just remember when I was like 5, me and my mom went just with my grandma. And even that there was something about Florida that always like had our hearts, like for our childhood anyway.
Yeah.
And we still have family there and all that, but that, and then the combination of that, which this is going to sound totally funny and weird, but going down to the shore, we went with like our aunts and uncles and our cousins who are our same age, basically every year, just for like a long weekend. So it was nothing. Right? Yeah, it was nothing crazy.
Wow.
But but I just have like the best memories of that. Was something. You have gum, dude? I can hear that the whole time. I just remember doing the same thing, like playing arcades or playing the skee balls, wanting to win stupid little prizes or whatever, and like the competition or what we came back with, and Ed's Arcades, the tickets and the coins that said Ed's Arcades on them. It was just classic. It was a combination of that. We would go. The shore was something we did every year, no matter. We always did somewhere else big, but that was always something that we did. What about you?
Because one I thought of almost immediately was because my closest aunt lives in Virginia. We always went we always visited my aunt in some form or another. We always did as a family, like my aunt, my mom, my aunt, my cousins. We always went to random amusement parks or something in the area for the most part. But I remember one year we went to Busch Gardens, I think in Wilmington.
Busch Gardens,
Williamsburg.
Williamsburg. That was classic.
So
the Big Bad Wolf was a roller coaster.
Actually, I was actually thinking of that too. But it was actually the first time I think I was tall enough to and old enough to ride.
He just stole my story.
To ride, man. I think it was like Loch Ness roller coaster.
Yeah,
I forget what the name of it is, but I was old enough, and I was up until that point I was too scared, whatever. But my cousins and my aunt, whatever, they encouraged me to do, and I was first time I went and like I loved it. And after that, I was like on writing on everything afterwards.
Yeah.
And then, like after and, like every time we went to parks and stuff afterwards, because after that we wound up going to like Disney Worlds and whatever random or Universal Studios and stuff like that too. And I was always ready to be like in the front of the thing. And after that, but that was like the first time I remember actually willing and ready to be on like a roller coaster.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I don't even know how old I was at that point, but
This is last year, but that's awesome.
You just reached the height requirement.
I was a late bloomer.
Mike,
Yeah.
what was your
No,
vacation?
it was the same thing when we went to Virginia. I was gonna say, and we went to Busch Gardens, and same thing. Like I think me and Hack, we were like the same size forever, but we were just tall enough to get into like one of the crazier roller coasters, and it was what he said, the Big Bad Wolf. And
That's
I
great.
remember it was me, Hack, and Pop. We got on it, and when we got on it, there was no line, so we ran back around and jumped on it again. I think we went on like three times
Oh, I'm
back to
sure.
back, and then I was like, yo, let's go. And we just kept going on to other rides. And we were just running to them because I think it had just rained. It was like a rainstorm or something, and then
Oh,
it just
yeah.
died out, and the sun came
Washed
out.
everything
That's
out,
right,
yeah.
So
that's
the
right.
park was pretty much empty. So we were running from like ride
that,
to
that
ride.
was
and
that
then,
was my first roller coaster.
yeah.
That's great.
Oh, spinning off that though, I remember that was like the first hotel we stayed in that had an indoor pool.
Pool,
Oh, yeah.
We never stayed into it. Like
We thought
our
that was
hotels,
so cool.
Yeah, for some reason we thought this was the coolest
Yeah.
thing ever. I remember thinking I was Macaulay Culkin.
What?
Yeah, on what I think it was when he goes to New York, where he's like on the pool with those huge blue shorts or whatever.
Oh
And they
yeah.
end up floating. Well, he just like
Ah.
clapped his hands and went like this and did this like terrible dive in.
Okay, well,
I remember feeling like I was him.
that's so
I'm like, wow, we're like, rich people do this.
yeah.
Little did I know, it was just like a regular.
Hotel.
Now, basically, most hotels have that, but we're talking like early '90s, and to us, that was like, what, an
Yeah,
indoor
yeah.
pool? But yeah, so the whole Virginia thing, that was classic.
Yeah.
And then there was times we did day trips with our parents, going
Yeah,
to
go
Lancaster and doing
yeah.
Dutch Wonderland and doing those things. That was always cool too. What was the other place we used to go for like day trips? I don't know, but we talk about this all the time. Like, I don't even know how my parents did it. Like,
Yeah.
we were just like
Yeah.
average middle class, like family, and somehow we went on multiple
Yeah, with
vacations
3 kids.
with 3 kids a year. Like, felt like we were constantly going places. It's just awesome. But all right, so for our last segment, as we talked about, earlier in this episode, talking about specifically what a vacation truly is. And I'll go over the definition again. A period of suspension of work, study, or other activity, usually used for rest, recreation, or travel, recess, or holiday. So we did talk about vacation doesn't necessarily mean destination.
Yeah.
Vacation just means to literally unplug.
Yep.
And to recharge yourself,
Or like
which
I
would
guess
mean to plug back in. But anyway.
I guess the staycation type thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Stay away from.
I mean, there's forms of it. Going to destinations is obviously, a vacation too. But I'm just saying they come in different shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
What are some of the smaller vacations you guys take regularly? And it doesn't have to be, like I said, it doesn't have to be
like
an actual destination.
I'm one that if I take off the next day for work, whatever, I'm on top of my email. I have to be on my email, ready to respond every day. If I'm on vacation, I don't bother with that phone. I don't respond to emails. I just let it go until the next day, or I set up the auto response and they get that. And so I know that for a fact that I keep it away from work. I don't communicate with anybody from work. I just stay away from it and leave my work phone down, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that autoresponder is a big thing because it won't pop up on your.
No, they just get the message that's saying you're out for the day or whatever, out the office.
Right, and if it's like a true emergency, the people who need to contact you will find a way.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, to me, it's just the unplugging, the things that we do on a regular basis. Just chilling out and really us as hanging out with other friends and family who are basically in the same kind of hustle and bustle. There's nothing to me worse. I don't find relaxing at all when it's just someone who I guess just a group of people who you can't relate to or they can't relate to you.
Yeah.
It makes it almost like an effort. And I'm not talking about, not communicating with other people. I'm talking about when you're trying to relax. It's just weird because you're not on the same frequencies. You're on different levels of things and your thought processes are different. it makes it like work again. So you're like, you're constantly having like a forced conversation. You're trying to understand.
Yeah. Right.
When you chill out on the weekends with people who are on the same vibes as you, on the same like level as you, or the same, relatively same jobs, salaries, and all that kind of stuff, it's almost like this mutual understanding where it's like less talk and better, deeper conversations.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Where you're actually unplugging and having better, more genuine conversations. We're not trying to figure out, so where are you from? It's not like that stuff where it's cheesy and surface. For us, I know for the guys, like just chilling out by, like a fire or whatever and smoking stoves and just having like good conversation and talking about our past weeks, or dream building is my favorite, is like talking about the future and what could be whilst, around a few select friends and family members, smoking a stove and just genuinely relaxing. To me, those are my regular vacations. Not something you do every day, obviously, but a couple times a month.
Yeah.
And you can just re-energize for that.
Exactly. It's funny that something like this popped out of like us just doing that one day. It was like a random Saturday night. It was like just chilling, and we had
the
an
podcast.
idea.
Yeah. So the podcast came basically from the conversations that we're having while we're unplugging our mini vacations, whatever talking. And I just thought that there were good conversations that we're having, obviously deeper conversations. I said, why don't we capture this stuff and, share our experiences? Because sometimes people ask us, like, how do you guys, not all brothers and cousins get along.
Yeah.
And not all brothers can bring their friends around the family and them also get along. We just, I feel like, have a unique bond that we are basically sharing with the world. That's all it is. It's simple. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing, whatever. But, we're having time for ourselves, unplugging. But at the same time, I feel like there's growth in it.
Exactly.
So we're, giving each other, advice, or a listening ear, or like I said, motivating each other, or
we're strengthening our bonds together.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's us.
Yeah, exactly. Not everybody's like that, but...
I know a couple people who, like, fishing's their thing. Like, they go fishing literally on a weekly basis to unplug. We have a good, a friend of ours who, bought, like, one of those little hut things by a lake around here, and he, like, literally leaves work and goes straight there, like, during the summer now. And it's a local thing, so he doesn't even have to go far. It's probably closer to his job than his actual house is, which is kind of funny. But that's him unplugging. Yeah. And a lot of that has to do with nature, like just even talking about the elements. What did I say? The fire around us, and we're talking. So there's something peaceful about the fire going. Yeah. Water. They're around a lake. There's something peaceful about the water. So when you go back to the elements, it helps you. It helps ground you. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's. I'm curious to hear what other people do. What else? Hunting. Some people go hunting. Some people go fishing. A lot of people are in like adult, like sport leagues. Yeah. Like actually Manny's in like a softball league or whatever. That might be like a little escape from reality to him, because obviously it doesn't really count. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
remember when we used to go extreme bike riding. Remember out when we go to the one park?
Oh man,
that would take us out. Like that would just set my day.
That was peaceful. That would like and was energized.
Yeah, because I knew like I was gonna get up that morning. I got my bike ready and off to the park. I went off to the trails. I went, and I would be gone for about a good hour and a half, 2 hours. Yeah, and there's times where you would come with me too. And it's like it's just so peaceful with the you're right by a creek and just ripping through all these crazy trails that were made by someone, I guess. I don't know. And it was just like you would just start your day off and it's like, dude, relaxing, and I'll get home, shower, and just go off to work. Yeah. And I'll be relaxed and ready to go, like nothing. No worries.
Hook up the bikes in the back of the Jeep.
Yeah. So awesome.
Yeah. We stop at like Wawa, grab Gatorades or whatever, and just go.
Keep going.
We're gone for like an hour, 2 hours, just like you said, just letting it rip through. You don't know what the next turn was gonna hand you. It was just so it had like that a little adrenaline rush to it. Yep. But then you're in tune with nature because it was just like this eerie silence about what you were doing. Yeah.
Yeah, and then a creek would just pop up out of nowhere. We'll try to find a trail where it was coming out
like,
of.
How do you get there? And then there's people fishing. It was very cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and then we brought Mikey with us, and he threw up.
So, and it smelled like French vanilla.
And then we brought him again, and he threw up again.
No, I did it one time.
Hazelnut coffee.
It was hazelnut.
I can't ever have a hazelnut ever again.
It was.
Oh my
because I
goodness.
remember he threw
You
up.
guys got up so early, and I wanted to get up and ride with you, but I drank so much coffee to be alert.
Yeah.
All that coffee splashing around, jumping ramps.
It was also weird that he had a bike with like a pink basket up front.
hopping logs and shit.
Gave him a spot to throw up in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he saved it in there.
So we're sitting there jumping ramps, and he's sitting down like all dizzy and
I said,
total
hold
vertigo.
on.
and he barfs, right?
Oh,
And
it was crazy.
So I'm just like, yo, you good? He's, no, I'm good. Just need water. So we just gave him water. We let him go. 'Cause sometimes it's kind of obnoxious, whatever. So I'm like doing circles, kind of like where he was. Not like teasing him, but it was like this little whatever ramp thing that we were doing.
I do remember that.
And
You
all I
smell.
could smell was this hot hazelnut coffee. Dude, I
so
got
gross.
so nauseous. Till this day, I can't. I used to like hazelnut creamer in my coffee.
I don't like it
I
either.
can't even have the smell of it. Like at work, they have it. And I just walk. I walk out of the cafeteria. Like, it nauseates me.
you.
Yeah.
I don't
Yep.
like it either.
Dude, that was great.
You guys are just mad 'cause I was beating you guys. I was in front,
He was winning.
leading the way.
He had no idea where he was.
He was laying a trail all
He was
over.
leading a
He was
trail so he
literally
could
riding
throw up.
like a 10-speed Huffy
Yeah. It was burgundy and yellow stripes on it.
with the pink basket. It was the strangest thing.
Oh,
But then
gosh.
he had like a bandana around his head and like this helmet and
He wore Vans.
yeah, and socks up to his shins.
I had my little
Cut off
short
sleeve.
shorts.
Little jean with the pockets were showing
Oh god.
What a disaster.
and a fanny pack. So
So whoever's listening, that's all fabricated.
yeah, the fanny pack was fabricated.
Everything else was
polyester. Yeah. No, I'm real. That's a true story. All right, so
Gabe's envisioning Mike with a pink basket. Throwing up.
Throwing up. I was mad because I threw up on my Vans.
yeah.
Oh my god. Dude, that stunk though. Like it was.
I'm not
bad.
kidding you. Like
it was
I'm literally
bad.
scarred forever. Like I would never have hazelnut again. Oh god, just thinking of it.
Oh man.
I would never have hazelnut ever again.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, hazelnut, but you can blame my brother.
Oh man.
Yeah. And our sponsor, Hazelnut Coffee from Wawa.
Hazelnut, hazelnut, hazelnut.
All right, how we wrap up every episode is with 2 quotes, and today's quotes are by Will Wright and Earl Wilson. The first one is by Will Wright. On vacation, I totally unplug. I don't bring a laptop with me. And that's kind of going along what we were saying with totally unplugging and actually taking a vacation. And then the second one is by Earl Wilson. A vacation is what you take when you can no longer take what you've been taking. So very interesting way to explain a vacation. Yeah, if you keep reading that, it gets deeper and deeper. Like, whoa. That's a good one, Earl Wilson. All right, so in this episode, I Need a Vacation, we discussed our vacation experiences as kids and adults, escaping the hustle and bustle, and our favorite vacations with our children. We wrapped up the episode with quotes from Earl Wilson and Will Wright. Awesome. Guys, thanks again for joining us. The Rotated Views podcast was produced for self-development purposes. Huge shout out to our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by the Blessed Lifestyle brand. That is BL3SSED.com. Also sponsored by The Motivation Files Unleashed. This motivational mixtape will be your fuel for success. Available on all platforms. Guys, don't forget to visit the website, JimmyleeVelez.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Rotated Views. If you have any inquiries or questions, email us at info@JimmyleeVelez.com. On behalf of myself and the rest of the crew, we wish you massive success. Stay blessed.